Today we're taking a look at probably the biggest portable refrigerator I've seen yet from NewAir. This is the NewAir 115 quart portable fridge, freezer, and, if you'll notice up top, solar panel and battery pack. I'm going to explain this whole thing to you, so let's get into it. All right, folks, welcome back. So I literally am just charging this up for the first time. It does have its own battery inside. We'll get into that battery kit separately. It is a separate edition that you can pick up from NewAir. But this thing is huge. All right. I've kind of thought about these more as emergency backup for when the power fails and you've got a fridge full of meats and expensive items that you don't want to defrost. You can transfer it to something like this. This makes sense for that. I've had some smaller ones that will hold some of my stuff, but this as a backup refrigeration unit for your home would work very, very well. The neat part about it is you have two zones. You have two sides there, and you can set either side to be your freezer side or your refrigerator side, or you can set them both to refrigerator or both to freezer, depending on how much stuff you have to preserve in a pinch. Now, would this be perfect for overlanders and RV people and schoolie bus people that convert those school buses to homes and stuff? Absolutely. I mean, I could see this being more than enough for the whole darn shebang. You really don't need much more if you're living on the road, but definitely a cool item. I want to get into some of the details before I show you what's inside and explain the solar panel up top there. I will show you the battery that is in the side, and remember, that is a separate kit, and I am charging the battery right now. As a matter of fact, I'm charging this off a I believe it's a 700 watt power bank on the side there. This whole thing, and it's not down to temperature yet because I just plugged it in, this whole thing is only drawing about, let's see, 67, yeah, about 67 watts, 70 watts or so. So that's pretty darn amazing. This thing is big enough to come with its own energy guide, but I think we'll be taking that off. So from a prepper disaster standpoint, I love something like this. You can easily take care of any kind of emergency you're having with food, with power being out, being able to preserve it. So let's say you're on some kind of medication that needs to be kept cold, like insulin or something. Definitely a great backup. It does come at a price, though. These are not cheap, and we'll get into the price on the kit and the thing later. I understand that for some people, kind of out of their price range. We're going to be reviewing some smaller, more economical ones in the future, but if you need something that's going to run forever and take good care of you, NewAir definitely is an awesome product. Now, this does have that retractable handle, okay? You're going to lift up on that little button there. I'll show you how that works in a sec, and pull that out. So this does roll. It does have what they call off-road wheels. I'm not so sure they're off-road. They kind of look the same as most wheels, but they are thicker ridged, so it can get you over some mud and stuff like that. It does have a very quiet, durable LG compressor. I don't know if you can hear it. You probably can't because this mic is very directional. It's facing towards me, but I can't hear it over the fan of the power station that I have off to the side there. Very, very quiet. You can plug this into your car or charge it by solar or battery. The nice thing about this is it does have 3 battery protection modes. You know how I always tell you, if you charge a power station in your car, make sure your car is running. This has protection modes set up inside, and you can set them from 1, 2, or 3 that will keep the cooler from draining your car battery. It will sense the power coming off the battery, and when it gets too low, it'll shut itself off, so you won't have a dead battery. Now, your doors are reversible depending on how you want to set this up, and we'll get into that in a second. I'll show you the inside. And the nice part about having the reversible doors is that however you set this up, let's say that's not going to fit on the end of your where you're setting this up in your RV or whatever. Well, all right, turn it the other way and reverse the doors. So let's take a look at the battery system, the charging system, and all that, and then we'll get into the interface. This is very, very simple to use. Nothing too complicated about it. I'm going to turn it around the other way so you can see, and I can show you the power station and what it's drawing. So here's a quick look at the rear of the unit. This is a very, very simple interface. I do have it plugged in right now. I'm going to show you the power station. Let me lift you up really quick here. You can see it's drawing 63 watts. And that will run for 7.9 hours at 63 watts. So it's definitely got more than enough power to run this thing for a long time. But here's the catch. If I were to unplug this, this is still going to run because it's got a battery. Now, let me plug this back in so I don't turn it off. I want to get it down to temperature. So this is going to be your plug for your AC wall power. It'll also be your plug for your DC, your cigarette lighter adapter plug. And this is going to be the plug for the solar panel. You're literally going to plug your solar panel directly into this, and it will power the battery. I'm going to pull the battery out really quickly to show you how it works. That kind of gets in the way there. You're going to just squish in on here and get it out. And there's your battery. And as you can tell, this is fully charged, ready to go. It's as simple as that. You're going to slide this in here. This is 173 watt hours. 173 watt hour battery. So we'll run this for a good long time. And if you're running it on solar, it is an awesome way to keep this topped off and running. It will give you a whole lot of runtime with the solar panel included. Let's take a look on the inside of this unit and see what it's all about. All right, so remember how I told you this is dual zone. One can be freezer, one can be fridge. They both can be fridge, they both can be freezer. I have this side, the bigger side, set to -4, okay? And I have this side set to 32. It's not fully there yet. This side's 22, and this side's 34. But we're getting there. This is the bigger side, so it's going to take a little bit longer to cool down. I'm going to open these up and show you. When they open, you do have that nice LED light on the side, and we will move the camera around so you can see it. It's really a big item, and it's very hard to display it sometimes. So let's take a look inside here. You do have these beautiful baskets. That really makes cleanup and storage easy. You can also take these out and load them away from the fridge, bring them over, and drop them in like that. The other side here has a nice big basket as well. There are 2 drain out plugs in case things defrost. One on each side there. And your lids are very, very sturdy. Very well put together. It's a really nice unit, and lots of room. You can imagine, if I had to put these both on freezing, I want to close them up so I don't lose any more cold, so I get them down to temperature. If I had to put these both on freezing, say, I would have no problem doing that. Let me put the camera down. There we go. And be able to keep everything ice cold in there for a good long time. Really, that's impressive. So, let's take out the solar panel. I want to explain how that works to you. I'm going to show you it charging up and show you just how cold this can get just running on solar. So one of the coolest factors about this is you can, when you buy the battery, get the whole kit, and you'll get that panel too. That is a 100-watt panel, 18 volts, 100 watts. The average charge time they give me for doing this is about 3 to 5 hours to top off the battery. Again, I would suggest if you're just topping off the battery, if you have nothing in there and you just want to top off the battery with solar, that you turn the unit off and just let it charge the battery. That's fine. However, it does do what they call pass-through charging, and it will run as well as charge that up. It has a 9-foot cord on there, so you have lots of room to separate your cooler from the sun where that panel is going to be sitting. And it's a pretty convenient setup. I really like the fact that you've got the battery in there. The battery, I believe they say, will run you about 4 to 12 hours depending on factors. In other words, if I have both these going at -4, that battery's going to last about 4 hours. If I have them going at, 40, 32, 40 degrees, probably run about 12 hours. So using it as a fridge will work a lot longer. Another neat feature of this is the ability to do what I'm going to show you right now. I can keep stuff cold in there while running that outside. So during the day, I've got my panel outside. I'm keeping my stuff cold while the power is out in an emergency or disaster or whatever. But at night, when there is no sun, I've got the battery to run it at least for a little while. That's really, really handy. If you have a power bank or something like that, you see it only draws, I'm drawing 59, 53 watts. So it really doesn't draw much either. And something like that with a pure sine wave inverter in it is not going to damage any components inside. So let's set up this panel outside. I'm going to get it in the sun because we have a sunny day here. I'm very lucky that I got a sunny day to do it. And let's see how well this performs just on the battery and solar panel. All right, a little windy, but we do have some sunlight out here today. And I wanted to show you the setup. Basically, we have our panel set up over there. I'm walking around the back. And over here, it's plugged in, and that's the battery. You'll know that the battery is charging because when you're over here, let me show you. Now, I'm probably going to have to zoom in on this really close. Let me see if you can see it. Put the camera down there and zoom in and let you see it. Turn the light a little bit. It is showing the battery bars. Let me zoom in. Sorry for the crooked camera work here. There we go. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but the battery bars are moving up and down. They're showing the battery being filled by the solar panel. And underneath it's showing me a voltage of 12.3, which is fine because I just finished topping that battery off a little bit ago, but I didn't go all the way. You'll notice this side is down to 7 degrees. It's supposed to be below -4. This side is at 24. That's doing just fine. And it's working away. So that's pretty darn impressive for it to be able to run like this. Now, I'm not sure if I turn off the power. Let's see if I turn off the power. And if I turn off the power, it's still charging. I hope you can see that. I don't know if I have, maybe I should block the back there with myself. And you can see the charging. So I've turned it off. And it's still charging up the battery. So that's nice to know. But if I turn it back on, there you go, 12.6. So the solar panel is doing a pretty good job, all in all. So that's the setup. I'm going to cover the controls up here next and show you what you can do with this. There is no Wi-Fi on this, however. I know some people love to have their Wi-Fi on everything, Bluetooth, I mean, where they can connect their phone with Bluetooth. You can't do that on this one, but there is a plug here to plug in and charge your devices. So all in all, pretty darn cool. Let me cover it up again so you can see. Kind of hard to cover it up and talk at the same time because I'm too far from the mic. But you get the idea. Pretty darn impressive. Really, really liking that. All right, let's move it back inside and we will finish up the video. I'll explain all the controls to you and we'll talk about the price of the solar kit and the unit itself. All right, the front controls are pretty basic and simple. If the unit is dim, you'll want to wake up the monitor because it's kind of dim. You're just going to hit that button. Now you'll notice here I have my controls. I can set that for plus or minus. It will only go to -4. I want to take this all the way down. And just a side note, this is running completely on battery power right now. I don't know if you can hear the compressor. Let me see. Nah, I don't know if the microphone will pick it up, but it is really, really quiet. So that's how you're going to change this side. Okay, let's say we're done there. We hit that and we move over to here. You see how I have it set at 32. So I can move that up or down however I want, and then I'm finished. You wait for that to time out, and once that times out, we can switch the Fahrenheit and Celsius on there too. But if you just hit this, and you see this max flashing, I can take this from max to eco mode, however I want to do it, okay? Back and forth like that, really, really simple. Eco mode, if you're running on the battery, will be a little bit easier on the battery. Right now, I'm just running it hardcore. I'm not really paying much attention to it, so you see how it works. Let me back you up and show you how these handles work, and then we'll wrap up the video. So if you really don't want to carry it this short, you don't want to do that. What you can do is you reach underneath here, and there are 2 switches underneath, and pull it out. Now it pulls out a lot further than this. I can't fit it obviously into the camera from here, but you can pull this behind you like this, and the leverage it gives you will make it a whole lot easier to lug around and carry. So it's definitely a simple, easy to use unit. There's nothing fancy about it. There's nothing difficult about it. One of the things I do like about it is it isn't connected to Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or anything like that. I've reviewed the ones in the past that are, and they tend to be kind of buggy. The apps don't always work. So I love the fact that this is just a straight-on fridge with a battery. And you see it's still holding at 12.2, and I didn't even really top that battery fully. So it's definitely holding off pretty well. All right, let me turn it sideways and let's finish up the video. I'm going to give you all the information you need to pick up one of these if they interest you. Like I say, the battery kit and the solar panel, that's one kit, and the unit itself are not cheap, but they are very high quality. And if you're going to be using this something as your primary freezer or fridge or primary backup or emergency, definitely good stuff. I reviewed tons of stuff from NewAir, and their quality is top notch. So let's move it around. All right, so finally a little bit on the product dimensions here. The product dimensions on the refrigerator, it is 22 inches in depth, 40 inches wide, 21 inches in height. The weight on it is 64 pounds. It's not light, but very easy to carry using the handle and the wheels. So you can pretty much take this over almost any terrain or just store it in your vehicle and have a cooler ready to go. It is a DC 12 volt or 24 volt. You can run it off either. Capacity is 115 quarts. It has 2 zones. Okay. Temperature ranges are -4 Fahrenheit to 68 Fahrenheit. Noise level 45 dB. That is really quiet. I'm still trying to listen to it and I can't hear it. Refrigerant is the R600A and the interior light is a white LED. Now, the solar kit, which you see up top there, the battery and the solar panel. The 100-watt solar panel also will come with the 173-watt removable rechargeable lithium battery. The battery and the kit will work with all other NewAir refrigerators. So if you're looking at a smaller one, if this is way too big for you, the kit itself will work with that one. The kit runs $449, okay? So it's $250. Okay, that's the battery and the solar panel. My opinion, a little bit pricey on that, but still, to have the ability to run this thing off of solar panel and battery pretty much indefinitely, as long as the sun's out, you really can't beat that. The refrigeration unit itself is $599.99, so $600. This is a professional refrigerator. This isn't just a little cooler that you stick in the back and throw some ice in. It's going to be pricey. Do they have cheaper units? Yeah, and I reviewed a few. But if you need something this big, and this is the biggest one I've ever seen, 115 quarts, that's the biggest one I've ever seen on it. This is definitely the way to go. So all in all, I am really impressed with the unit. Sometimes it's just fun to review stuff that you know personally you'd never need. I mean, I couldn't see myself. I have a bunch of smaller ones of these, a little bit smaller, half the size. And I could see myself using those. This wouldn't fit in my Jeep, to be honest with you. It's kind of big. But again, those are those people out there that do full-time RVing, many of them on YouTube. There are people that I've noticed a lot of people now getting into the whole school bus thing, where they buy an old school bus and they convert it. There's your refrigeration unit. And the cool part is you can put stuff on top. It kind of can double as a table. There's a lot of repurposing of stuff. I've noticed in that community where they're building this stuff. So maybe they have a block and a table on it, but when they want to cook, they put the block and the table behind and they can open it up and get their stuff out and whatever. The battery and solar panel are just amazing. It's almost a guarantee that your food won't go bad in an event of a power outage. You have the ability to charge the thing up right away. And with a 100-watt panel, that's a pretty darn impressive panel. And you saw it was pumping in the charge, even on an overcast, cloudy day. There was some sun out there, but it was still a little overcast. It was doing a good job. So I am very impressed with the unit. Love the solar backup. And I will leave you links down below if you're interested. I understand this is a little bit on the pricey side than what I normally cover. I am going to be covering a more affordable unit that has a battery in it. So we will get into that and is chargeable by solar panel. But I just wanted to bring you guys this because I know there's someone out there that's looking for something huge, can't find what they need, and they're going to see this and go, oh man, that's perfect. So there you go. Anyway, folks, I thank you for joining me today. The links for this will be down below, and you can check those out on NewAir's site. Again, if you are in the market for a smaller one, yes, they have smaller ones. I reviewed one of the smaller ones. They are very nice, very high-quality units. They do have smaller ones that you can get with the dual zone, so that's always available to you as well. But I really like the big one. So don't forget to check the links down below, even if you just click on it just to take a look at it and see. And below that will be our freeze-dried wholesalers, not fries-dried, freeze-dried wholesalers link. Remember, folks, till Friday, we are running that special. So my link will save you 20% till Friday. And that's on anything on the site, along with the carne asada sale and the $1,000 giveaway in coupons and gift cards. So get in on that video. Just search for it back about 4 videos ago, and you will be able to find it there. If you're watching this video 2 years from now, yeah, the contest's over. Anyway, check them out. My link normally is 15% savings. My link will be 20% savings up until Friday, so definitely get in on that deal. Friday, we're going to draw the winners for the contest. Below that is our Amazon affiliate store. If you're interested in some of the stuff that we use on the channel, maybe you're looking for a fridge, you can go over to the Amazon affiliate store. And even if you're not, just click the link and shop as you normally would. We really do appreciate that. Below that is our My Patriot Supply link. That is preparewithiridium.com. We got some awesome deals going on there this month. Lots of free gear along with 3-month and 4-week survival kits and food and all that. So definitely check them out. And below that is our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching and taking your time to check out this monster fridge. Stay safe and stay prepared.